The way how I understand design is shaping the way how we live or work or do other things together, and that mediated through artifacts, spatial structures, procedures, and so on. So through this perspective, it's basically designed as a social material practice, and in which the interplay between material and social or political dimension can't be really treated separately. Over the last years, I've been working with performative installations as experimental setups, and through which I try to uncover and understand the social, material, and dynamic nature of an expanded understanding of a design. Maybe this is where how it relates then also to the political dimension, where because a choreography assembles not only the different single elements of a situation, like space, bodies, and so on, but it addresses the very design of that assembly as a work of such. And therefore, what I realized, or what I think is interesting through this working with this choreographic design or choreographic view, is that you also, I think it opens up a perspective for the design practice to address also form, rhythm, and relations of situations, but also underlying structures such as power, intentions, norms, and so on. Maybe the question of collectivity is maybe something that I already answered with when I was talking about choreography, because I very much address it as kind of as an assembly, or I think you could also call it a collective of very different actors, from material to non-material, from living to non-living, and so on, that are in interplay. So that would be my more general answer to that. In the specific project that I was talking about in the politics of design context, the School of Fluid Measures, the project was about norms and measuring standards, and the question of how what is the function of these norms in relation to social situations. Translation in my design, or in that specific project, is basically talking about that, for example, when we talk in language with each other, it is already an act of translation, although if we use the same kind of language, we still kind of translate our own interpretation and experiences, and also the context from which we are speaking, the perspectives that we have, our bodies, and so on. We translate them into the shared language, which is very abstract. It's kind of an abstraction of words that is then retranslated from the other person into their or his or her specific context, experience, body, interpretation, and so on. Because what I'm quite interested in the word of craft, there's a certain carefulness in relation to skill, material, and so on, that we all know that's happening in craft, but also in design, a care for detail, and also aesthetics, functionality, and so on, that I think is really interesting to translate this concept of like these qualities of care that we can find in design into also a social practice. So, and I think this is where a crucial moment can be added through the design practice in more socio-political contexts, because it's very different to, I think, thinking of management or organizational perspectives, how they would approach situations. So I'm not saying they're not careful, but I think they're taking care of other things. A lot of times I work in more abstract situations, so like a white cube context or something like that, but I'm interested in using this as a rehearsal moment for different realities. So for me, in my installations, it's really important, I rather understand them as experimental setup, through which a certain understanding and knowledge is actually gained by engaging with this setup. So I don't understand them as exhibitions where I show finished results, but rather use the exhibitions as a situation in order to share work, but through kind of together with the audience, there is a specific learning process happening, both for the audience, but also for the participants within that installation, and for me also as like in understanding the topic better that I'm actually working with. So in that sense, I would answer, for me, it's very crucial to be actually in that situation.